It was just before noon on November 13, 2022, when Moscow police responded to a 911 call at 1122 King Road, a rundown rental house near the University of Idaho. The caller, a young woman, sounded frantic. "My roommate's unconscious. She's not waking up." Officers arrived at a scene that would haunt this small college town for years. 4 students: Madison Mogen, 21, Kaylee Goncalves, 21, Xana Kernodle, 20, and Ethan Chapin, 20, lay dead, stabbed multiple times, blood soaking the floors. Picture this: a quiet college town, the kind where doors stay unlocked and students party without fear. You're walking home late, laughter echoing, unaware of eyes in the dark. You feel safe until you don't. That's what Moscow, Idaho was before that night, when a predator turned a home into a slaughterhouse. The house was a hub for the 5 roommates. 3 victims lived there, plus 2 survivors, Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk. Ethan, Xana's boyfriend, was visiting. No signs of forced entry, no murder weapon found. A leather knife sheath left beside Madison's body held a single clue: touch DNA. The town, with no murders since 2015, was stunned. Who could do this? Police sealed the scene, but whispers spread. A targeted attack, they said, but no suspect, no motive. For 6 weeks, Moscow lived in fear, students fleeing campus, parents begging for answers. Then, 2,500 miles away, in Pennsylvania, a breakthrough: Bryan Kohberger, a 28-year-old criminology PhD student, arrested. DNA, a white Hyundai Elantra, and a trail of digital footprints pointed to him. What drives someone to kill 4 strangers in their sleep? Obsession? Revenge? Or something colder, calculated, buried in the mind of a man studying crime itself? This is the story of the Idaho student murders, the house that became a tomb, and the predator who shattered a town's peace. This story's already chilling you, and it's just begun. Hit subscribe and join our true crime community diving into the darkest cases. Like and share to spread the victim's story. Comment: what do you think happened at King Road? Let's unravel this nightmare together. Moscow, Idaho, population 25,000, was a safe haven for University of Idaho students. Nestled among rolling hills, it was a place of frat parties, coffee shops, and tight-knit friendships. At 1122 King Road, a 6-bedroom rental house, 5 women lived: Madison Mogen, Kaylee Goncalves, Xana Kernodle, Dylan Mortensen, and Bethany Funk. They were vibrant, ambitious, the heart of their friend group. Madison Maddie Mogen, 21, was a marketing major, known for her infectious laugh. She worked at a local cafe, dreaming of opening her own business. Her best friend, Kaylee Goncalves, 21, was a general studies major, fiercely loyal, always planning adventures with Maddie. They'd been inseparable since childhood, sharing secrets and late-night talks. Xana Kernodle, 20, a marketing major, was the house's spark, bubbly, athletic, with a knack for making everyone feel included. Ethan Chapin, 20, her boyfriend, was a business major, a Sigma Chi frat member with a goofy smile and a kind heart. He didn't live at King Road but often stayed over. November 12, 2022, was a typical Saturday. Maddie and Kaylee hit downtown Moscow, bar hopping, ending at a food truck for carbonara at 1:40 a.m. Their laughter lit up the night, captured on a live stream. Xana and Ethan attended a Sigma Chi formal, then partied at the frat house, returning to King Road by 1:45 a.m. Dylan and Bethany, the other roommates, were out separately, back by 1 a.m. asleep in their first-floor rooms. By 2 a.m. the house was quiet, everyone in bed. Kaylee called her ex-boyfriend, Jack, 7 times between 2:26 and 2:52 a.m., leaving voicemails: "Come over, please." Maddie called him 3 times. He didn't answer, later telling police he was asleep. A DoorDash delivery arrived for Xana at 4 a.m., left at the door. All seemed normal, but something wasn't. Around 4 a.m., Dylan Mortensen woke to strange noises. She heard crying from Xana's second-floor room, then a man's voice. "It's okay, I'm going to help you." She opened her door, saw nothing, and went back to sleep. At 4:17 a.m., a security camera 50 feet away caught distorted sounds: a whimper, a thud, a dog barking. Dylan woke again, hearing footsteps. She opened her door and froze. A masked man, 5 or taller, athletic, with bushy eyebrows, walked past her toward the sliding glass door. She locked her door, terrified, texting Bethany, "Something's happening." They didn't call 911. Young, scared, unsure, they waited. At 11:58 a.m., believing Xana was unconscious, they called friends over, then 911. Police found a bloodbath, Maddie and Kaylee on the 3rd floor, Xana and Ethan on the 2nd, each stabbed multiple times, with a large fixed blade knife. Some had defensive wounds, suggesting they fought back. No sexual assault, but the savagery was personal, relentless. Who was the man Dylan saw? Why target this house, these friends? Moscow shut down, students fled, and parents demanded answers. The police, led by Chief James Fry, called it a complex case, urging patience. But fear ruled, and the killer was still out there. Feeling that chill? This case gets darker. Smash like and subscribe for every twist in this nightmare. Share to honor Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan. Comment, who was the masked man? What's your theory? Stay with us, the truth is terrifying. Moscow police, backed by Idaho State Police and the FBI, faced a case unlike any in the town's history. The crime scene was brutal, blood on walls, floors, beds. The knife, likely a Ka-bar-style fixed blade, was missing. A leather sheath beside Maddie's body held touch DNA skin cells, not blood on its button snap. No fingerprints. The sliding glass door showed no forced entry, suggesting the killer knew the house's layout. Chief Fry called it a targeted attack, but didn't say who was targeted or why. The lack of a suspect fueled panic. Internet sleuths flooded social media, accusing Kaylee's ex, Jack, or random locals. Police debunked rumors, warning against harassment, but the pressure mounted. Steve Goncalves, Kaylee's father, criticized the police's silence, saying the victims had big open gouges, their wounds unique. "They're not telling us everything," he told Fox News. Investigators traced the victims' last hours. Maddie and Kaylee's food truck visit, Xana and Ethan's frat party, the DoorDash order, all checked out. A security camera caught the Elantra passing the house 3 times between 3:29 and 4:04 a.m., speeding away at 4:20 a.m. Police sought the driver of a 2011 to 2013 Hyundai Elantra, receiving 22,000 tips. The breakthrough came from DNA. The sheath's touch DNA was sent to Othram, a Texas lab, for investigative genetic genealogy, IG. Using GDmatch Pro, the FBI built a family tree, narrowing to a male in Pennsylvania. On December 19, 2022, Moscow Police Detective Brett Payne heard the name. Bryan Kohberger, a 28-year-old PhD student at Washington State University, 8 miles from Moscow. Kohberger fit the profile. His white Elantra matched the camera footage. Cell phone data showed his phone near King Road 12 times since June 2022, often late at night. On November 13th, his phone was off from 2:47 to 4:48 a.m., but pinged near the house at 4:50 a.m. Trash from his parents' Pennsylvania home, where he'd driven for the holidays, yielded DNA matching the sheath's 99.9998% paternal link to his father. On December 30th, 2022, Pennsylvania State Police arrested Kohberger in Albrightsville, 2,500 miles from Moscow. Items seized included black gloves, masks, a Smith & Wesson pocket knife, and size 13 Nike shoes. No murder weapon was found, but Amazon records showed he'd bought a Ka-bar knife in March 2022. Fry announced the arrest. "We have an individual in custody who committed these horrible crimes." But why? Kohberger, a criminology student, had no known ties to the victims. Was it a random act or something personal planned? Bryan Kohberger was an enigma. Born November 21, 1994 in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania, he was a quiet kid, bullied for his weight. At DeSales University, he earned a bachelor's in 2020 and a master's in criminal justice in 2022, studying under forensic psychologist Catherine Ramsland. He posted on Reddit, asking ex-cons about their thoughts and emotions during crimes, chillingly clinical. In summer 2022, he moved to Pullman, Washington, for a PhD in criminology at WuXu. As a teaching assistant, he was strict, clashing with students. Faculty met with him 2 weeks before the murders, citing concerning behavior, and fired him on December 19th for poor performance. Kohberger's past hinted at darkness. In October 2021, Pullman police investigated him for a home invasion. A woman reported a masked man with a knife entering her bedroom at 3:30 a.m. She kicked him, screamed, and he fled. Kohberger was named a person of interest 13 days after the murders, but no charges were filed. The similarities mask, knife, night intrusion were eerie. His behavior post-murders was brazen. At 10:31 a.m. on November 13th, hours after the killings, he took a selfie, smiling, giving a thumbs up in a white dress shirt. Prosecutors noted his bushy eyebrows, matching Dylan's description. He drove his Elantra cross-country with his father, stopped twice by Indiana police for traffic violations, calm and cooperative. Psychologically, Kohberger was complex. His defense claimed autism spectrum disorder, ASD, arguing it made him less culpable, citing diminished impulse control and atypical social cues, like intense gazes or rocking. They referenced Atkins v. Virginia, banning executions for intellectual disabilities. Prosecutors dismissed this, noting his academic success and calculated actions. Was he a thrill killer, studying crime to commit it? His Amazon purchases, knives, gloves, masks suggested premeditation. His cell phone's proximity to King Road months prior hinted at stalking, yet no motive emerged. Did he know the victims, or was the house a random target? A test of his criminology theories. Kohberger was extradited to Idaho on January 4, 2023, held without bail in Latah County Jail. A gag order silenced police, prosecutors, and defense, fueling speculation. An affidavit detailed the evidence, Dylan's sighting, the Elantra cell phone data, and the DNA match. The defense, led by Ann Taylor, fought hard. They challenged the IG DNA, claiming the FBI misused GD match, violating privacy. Judge Stephen Hippler denied suppression, ruling the evidence admissible. They highlighted other DNA, 3 unidentified males' DNA under Maddie's nails, blood from unknown male B on a handrail, and a glove outside with male DNA. There's no Kohberger DNA in the house, they argued, suggesting others were present. Prosecutors countered with the sheath's DNA, a statistical match to Kohberger and his Elantra's movements. They noted 4 aggravating factors for the death penalty: multiple victims, heinous cruelty, disregard for life, and future danger. The defense's ASD claim and constitutional arguments against lethal injection or firing squad failed. Hippler upheld the death penalty, citing Idaho's legal methods. The trial, initially set for June 2025, was moved to Boise, 300 miles away, due to media saturation and juror bias in Moscow. Jury selection begins July 30, 2025, with the trial from August 11 to November 7, 2025. Why the delay in calling 911? Dylan and Bethany, young and traumatized, froze, their brains overwhelmed, experts said. Why no motive? Prosecutors didn't need one, relying on physical evidence. But the bushy eyebrows description sparked debate. Defense wanted it excluded, fearing prejudice. This case is a maze of evidence and questions. Like and subscribe to follow every turn. Share to support the victims' families. Comment, is Kohberger guilty, or is there reasonable doubt? What's your take? The end is near. That's the Moscow nightmare, but the truth is still unfolding. Subscribe and hit the bell for weekly true crime that haunts. Like and share to honor Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan. Comment, is Kohberger the only killer, or is someone else out there? What's your theory? Thanks for watching, and join us next time for another journey into the dark.